start, thread 1 run. Maybe you're feeling that, sir, thread 0 started first, that is a first come, first serve, no, sir. No. If you run this program multiple times, then look at that, which thread is coming first? Thread 1. So JVM means thread scheduler doesn't follow first come, first serve algorithm. It follows random picking. Okay. Now, I am changing the priority of the threads. How to change the priority of the threads? MT1 dot set priority of what I write here, say some 7 I am writing, and MT2 dot set priority I am writing 9. Okay, so now MT1 has less priority, MT2 has high priority. Now I just want to confirm that these priorities are set or not. Obviously we'll set, because you didn't write the code, it's predefined code. And now tell me, MT1 priority 7, MT2 priority 9. After main end, which thread you are expecting to execute first? High priority thread. But which thread executed? Practically, can you confirm high priority thread is executed first? Theoretically, high priority thread will be executed first, low priority thread is executed next. But practically, if you run, you cannot depend on the priorities. All right, catch my point? You cannot depend on priorities to, if you decide this thread should run first, that thread should run next. If you confirm, you should not depend on the priority. Okay, thread 0, again run, thread 0, again run, thread 0. Then where is high priority thread execution? Everyone understand that? So priority wise, the order of the threads starting, you cannot confirm. Okay, let me try to write for loop now. Okay, because only 2 lines you cannot confirm. Let me try to write multiple lines. For that, I am writing for loop. For int I equal to 1, I less than or equals to 20, I plus plus system dot out dot println double quotes, what do you call, get name plus run plus I value. I'm right. Save it, control F11. And now observe now here, which thread execution started? Thread 0 run start, thread 0 run 1, then thread 1 start, thread 0. Now 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Which thread completed first? Thread 0, then thread 1. Then where is the high priority coming into picture? Okay. Now observe. More iterations if you run, in more attempts if you observe, thread 1 is completed first, thread 0 is completed next. Observe the output, more iterations, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. In more iterations, which thread is completing first? Thread 1 completing first and thread 0 is completing next. That means, what did you understand from here? High priority thread not meant for executing first, meant for completing first. If thread has a high priority, more time slice will be assigned. In thread scheduling algorithm, thread priority thread scheduler will assign more time slice to high priority thread. So if enter ask a question, which thread will execute first? First means what? Not starting first, not only starting first, completing first also. Which thread will complete first, or which thread will execute first? High priority thread will execute first. That means more time slice will be given to what? High priority thread, so that it will execute first. Can you guarantee high priority thread always completed first or started first? No. Theoretically, we will say that, but practically, we will not say. We cannot say. So, sir, no, sir, I want to control the thread's execution. I want to execute my thread first and other thread next. What to do? Then that is what we have to use predefined methods. Only on priorities, you cannot depend. Hope you all understand priority concept. Right. So now with this, we understood priority and algorithm yesterday, algorithm execution, 2 algorithms, we got parity. Now let's try to understand next topic. Tell me, you have threads as a name now? Okay, now I'm creating class my thread 13. I want to get the name of the thread, so we call what? Get name plus run. Just run enough, started and all, not required. Okay, now I wanted to create, this is 14. MT1 equal to new my thread 14. When you create thread class object, what the memory structure? This is my thread. This is okay. Inside thread class, we have a variable called name. We have a field called name, and we have a field called priority, and we have a field called target. And so many other variables also there. Thread status. Thread status. So like so many variables are there. Currently, I want to consider these variables, means these fields. When you create thread object, my thread object or thread object, these other fields create. Now, what is the default value of these variables? Name of type string, default value now. Priority 0. Target null. Thread status 0. Then constructor of my thread class calling thread class. Okay, thread class constructor by default calls thread class constructor by default assign name with what? Thread -0. Priority is getting from parent and stored what? 5. Target value null as it is, no initialization. Thread status value also 0, not doing anything. Now the reference is stored in MT1 1010 pointing to. Now I want to get name of this thread. What do you write now? System dot out dot println MT1 dot get name. MT1 dot get name. Now what the name we will get? Thread -0. Okay. Next point. Now I don't want the name of the thread as thread -0. I want a different name. Let's say child 1 I want. Is it possible to assign child 1? Come on. Is it possible to change the name of the thread? Yes. The name of the thread, I don't like with the thread -. I cannot recognize my thread with the name thread -0. I want to set my own name. Then in that case, there is a predefined method called set name. Set name, double quotes. I am writing with what? Child 1 or depositor thread, withdrawee thread. Okay, some what operation this thread is doing, that thread operation name I will assign to it. Okay, for example, this thread is meant for printing. I'll write what? Printer thread. So like that, some proper name I am going to set. Now, is it possible to change the name of the thread? Yes. Look at that. The thread name change it to child 1. Now set priority, set name method will set the child 1 in the name variable in MT1 pointing object. Now the name variable child 1, thread 0 replace with what? Child 1. Hope you all understand now. Now the question, in how many ways we can set the name? We can set name to the thread in 2 ways. Number 1, by using setter method. No, by using constructor. Thread th1 equal to new thread of. Observe, thread class contain no param constructor, runnable param constructor, string name, runnable comma, string name. Okay, now, right, totally how many constructors are there? Several constructors are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 constructors are there. Among them, we have already used no param constructor, Also we use a runnable parameter constructor. Now I want to use string parameter constructor. I don't want the thread with create with a default name. I want to set the name, my own name at the time of thread object creation itself. Then I have to use what? String parameter constructor, child2. Then system.out.println mt2 dot get name. th2. th2 dot. Yeah, I'm changing. th2 dot get name. Then what the name we will get? Child. That means thread object is created. First thread 0 is stored and then child 2 stored, or directly child 2 now. Directly child 2 will be created. Now tell me, if I create one more thread object, my thread 14, mt3 equal to new my thread 14. Tell me system.out.println mt3 dot get name. What is the name of the thread? Thread hyphen 0 now. Come on. What the name of the thread? Thread hyphen 0. Thread hyphen 0 already used, na? This thread name is thread hyphen 0. Then why again thread hyphen 0 assigned to this new thread? Thread hyphen 1 or 2 na? This is thread hyphen 0. Then already you created thread, right? Come on, thread hyphen 1 or 2 na? Already I created third thread. So classes are different. No, class is same or different, that doesn't matter. You are creating threads in a single JVM, no? You create custom thread by using any class in the JVM, the thread index number will be keep on increased. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Tell me now. So now what the name of this thread? 1 or 2? 1 is the right answer. Because you created thread by using your own name, na? When you create thread with your own name, index number is not increased. You clearly inform to the constructor, don't increase my number because I'm taking my own name. Everyone understand that? So what is the point you need to understand? When we create a thread object, either directly by using thread class or by using one of its subclasses, my thread 1, my thread 2, my thread 3, the thread default index number is increased only if you create object by using no param constructor or by using runnable parameter constructor. If you create thread object by using thread of string parameter or thread of runnable comma string parameter constructor, the index number is not increased. Always thread name will be fixed. That is what are the name you are passing, that name will be assigned. Everyone understand that? Right. Then now what the name of the thread will be? Thread hyphen 1. It's not 0. Next. Now I wanted to create thread object by using my class mt4 equal to new my thread by passing my own name, double quote shade 3. Is it compiled or not compiled? Compiled or not compiled? Why not compiled? In thread class, we have string parameter constructor. In my thread class, we have string parameter constructor to create object by passing string. In your class, we have only no param constructor. Na? That's why compiler throwing error. Then what to do now? I have to create string parameter constructor. Yeah. We have to create string parameter constructor, string name. Then save it. If I create string parameter constructor, now we'll get compiled error with no param constructor. Then what to do now? I have to create no param constructor. So 2 constructors you must have in your class, string parameter constructor and no param constructor. Okay, now no compiled time error. Everyone understand? Tell me now. What is the name of the thread here? Thread hyphen 0. What is the name of the thread here? Child2. What is the name of the thread here? What is the name of the thread here? Sorry? Tell me, what the name of the thread here? Thread hyphen. I'm passing the name now. Huh? Come on, everyone. I passed the name, right? When I pass the name should be child 3. Yes or no? No. Thread hyphen 2. Why? Now control will come to string param constructor. Name is stored in the parameter. Further, control execution compile constructor execution completed. Control come back. The name you passed as an argument, did you store in the object? No. Tell me. Then how thread hyphen 2 is coming here? If you want to get thread hyphen 2, the number increment is available in the superclass. Na? Then in your constructor, you didn't go do any incrementing. How the increase number coming? Compiler software by default place here supercall. By default compiler places here supercall. Supercall is called to superclass. Which constructor? No param. No param constructor will do increase the index number. Na? So that's why we are getting thread hyphen 2. Now tell me. If the user creates the object using no param constructor, you want to execute from superclass no param. Right? If you wanted to create, if the user create the object by passing name, then the name of the thread must be not default name, passed name. If you want to get the name, if you want to get the passed name, then you have to hand over this passed name to the superclass. Na? So here we should write super of controller. Now you are getting child. Understand? So if you are directly creating thread class object by passing string name, it's okay. If you want to pass the string name to the subclass via subclass, you want to assign name to the thread class, then you have to define string parameter constructor, and inside you have to call super of. Which topic it is? Multi-threading chapter, no? Come on, multi-threading chapter, na? Constructor overloading. Is it constructor overload? Constructor chaining, subclass constructor chaining with superclass constructor. Okay, now tell me. If I create thread class object one more time, thread th5 equal to new thread of no param constructor I am creating. Tell me what the name of the thread will be now. th5 dot get name. Thread hyphen 3. This is 0, 1, 2. Thread hyphen 2. Okay, thread hyphen 2 is the name. Hope you all understand. Yes. Now I am creating 2 threads now again. My threads empty 6 equal to new my thread by passing the name. Hi, any name I can pass. I can say this as worker 1, and I'm taking this name as worker. Okay. System dot out println empty6 dot get name, empty7 dot get name. What are the names we will get? Worker 1, worker 2. Now I am setting the name to both threads as worker 1. Any problem? Can I create 2 threads with the same name? Possible or not possible? Can I create 2 threads with the same name? Possible or not possible? Not possible. Possible. Come on, think. Can I set same name to the two threads? Okay. First you have to think, possible or not possible are secondary. If I set same name to the two threads, who will face the problem? JVM face the problem. JVM face problem, thread scheduler face the thread scheduler will face the problem. How? How thread scheduler face the problem if two threads name is same? Name to your body for God, for parents, for outsiders. You are giving the name for whom? For God? No. For parents? For outsider. That means it's not meant for, name is not meant for God, JVM, not meant for parents, thread scheduler, meant for outsider. Who is outsider? You. You are the outsider. If the thread is running on the system, output is coming run. This run is executing from which thread? You want the name. The name is for your sake, not for thread scheduler sake. Thread scheduler doesn't require name. Thread scheduler not taking the name of the thread to start or pass or resume. Thread scheduler taking thread reference. Right? When you call mt1.start, now what is giving to the thread scheduler? mt1 name or mt1 reference? Then what the name, what the purpose of the name to the thread scheduler? So can I create two threads with the same name? Yes, no problem. No problem. No compile time error, no runtime error. So both threads name will be worker one, worker one. Then who will face the problem if I create two threads with the same name? Developer. We cannot recognize the logic is executing in which thread. Our conditions will not work. I want to execute some logic if the thread is, if my logic is running in thread one. Okay, if my logic is running in second thread, I don't want to execute. Do you remember same logic I can run in multiple threads? Now I want every time when the thread is running in custom thread one, I want to execute some logic. That means I have to write if condition based on the thread name. If get name dot equals of double quotes thread one, then only execute this logic. Otherwise, don't execute. And then in that case, if the threads are having same name, same logic executing all the threads, no. So I can set the same name to the multiple threads, but it is not good. It's a confusion to the programmer. No compile time error, no runtime error. It is a confusion to the programmer. Now the question, how JVM or how thread scheduler can differentiate one thread from another thread? It will not use name. If you remember, if you have observed, every time Eclipse is giving me one method call, get ID. Inside thread class, we have a special method called what? Get ID. It uses ID. mt1.getID, mt2.getID, okay, th2.getID, mt3.getID. Observe, all three threads ID is what? 15, 16, 17. Previously, the ID value coming 21. Look at there. What is the thread number coming? Any two threads are having with the same name? No. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Why starting with the 15? Use common sense, Tumri fellow. Already there are 14 threads are there in the JVM running. Our thread is 15th thread. Okay. So this JVM is having this JVM is having. Which version I am using? 17 version. Java 17 version I am using. So if you use latest version, okay, Java 20 version if you use, you will get the thread number starts with what? 21. Java 20 version using 20 threads already started inside JVM. Are you following? So now I'm using Java 17 version. So in Java 17 version, already 14 threads predefined started by JVM. Our thread will become what? 50. So check the version numbers, version number to version number, the number is changing. And you don't need to remember how many threads already there, just for knowledge sake. So if interviewer asks a question, how JVM can handle the threads? By using get ID method. From which version get ID is available? 1.5. Sir, before how it is managed? With reference. Okay, with object reference it manages. And moreover, up to Java 1.4 version, maybe they don't want to tell us the ID. Maybe internally they're maintaining 1.5 onwards, they are giving us to access the ID also. So this is the story about get name and get ID, same name setting, same name. Hope all people understand. Set priority, I forgot to show you one point. Can I set negative number? No. If you set negative number, we will get exception. Illegal argument exception. Illegal argument exception. Now look at it. At this line number we are getting. Now it's throwing from the thread class from set priority method. If new priority is greater than max priority or less than min priority, then throw exception. So this is the story about get priority and set priority, get name and set name. Tell me, from the thread class, how many constructors we have in thread class constructors? First one, what we discussed, thread, no param constructor. Second, thread, runnable target. Third, thread, string name. Fourth, thread, runnable target comma string name. Still, we have some more constructors, but as of now, we discussed only 4 constructors. Tell me, if I create thread object by using no param constructor, a run is executed from which class? Start method, current object class, either thread or my thread. Correct? Next, what the name of the thread? Name of the thread is default name, thread hyphen index. Index start from 0. Next, if I create object by using runnable target parameter constructor, run is executed from which class? From which class? Thread class. And the past runnable object class. Runnable object and runnable object or runnable type object. Runnable type means implementation class. You can say simply shortcut, we call it as runnable object. So run method executed from 2 classes, from thread class and the pass runnable object class. And name of the thread is default name thread hyphen index. Now tell me, if I create thread object by using string parameter constructor, run is executed from start method current object class, either thread or my thread. And the name will be default name or pass name. Pass name. Next, if I create thread object by using what do you call runnable target comma string name, run is executed from thread class and the pass runnable class. Name of the thread is default name or pass name. Possible. So these points you must know to pass written test exam. Okay. And as of now, these 4 constructors are sufficient. Some more constructors will discuss in the next topics. The next thread class methods. How many methods we discussed from the thread class? What the first method? What the first method? Public void start throws illegal thread state exception. It is a checked exception or unchecked exception? Unchecked exception. Should I handle or not required? Not required. Now what the use of this method? For starting custom thread or for causing custom thread to start? For causing. For starting custom thread to start. Okay, that means we are requesting the thread scheduler to start the custom thread. Next, second point, second method what we discussed, public void run. Run method throwing any exception? No. For what the use of this method? For supplying logic to execute in custom thread. Okay. Next, third method what we discussed. Come on, recollect the order. In which order you have learned? Sleep method I didn't explain, I used. Sleep method I didn't explain, I just used it. For my sake I used. Current thread also I didn't explain, I used. Next. Don't tell randomly. I want order. I want in order. Public void get state. First we discussed about how to create a threads and how to run the threads. Then thread execution algorithms. Get state method. What are the use of this method? For retrieving what the meaning of this thread? Current object dot gets state, whoever called. Okay. Next. For the next method. What are the use of this method? For knowing this thread is execution is started or not. Right? If not started or completed, it returns false. Means if thread is in new or terminated state, it returns false. If thread is in next. What the next method we discussed? Public void set priority int new priority throws illegal argument exception. What the use of it? For setting new priority. Priority must be in between. Yesterday, someone has asked me, sir, why only between 1 to 10? Okay, why your life age is between 1 to 100? God has set like that, so you are living that many years on. Okay, and we ourselves decrease our life to 1 to 60. Right? So don't ask stupid questions. When you are asking question, you should have common sense. Should I ask it or should not ask it? Okay. Next one, public in get priority. What it is for? For retrieving current priority of this thread. Next, public void set name string name. Is it throwing any exception? No. For setting new name to this thread. Next, public string get name. What it will do? For generally we are saying retrieving, but for getting, simple word also say for getting. Okay, for retrieving current name of this thread. Okay. Next, public in get ID. For there is no current ID. ID and one ID only will be there. Okay. ID of this thread. Who will assign the ID? Thread scheduler will assign. The ID number starts with JVM to JVM change. Inside JVM, how many predefined threads already created? Plus 1 is our thread ID. Tell me, all these constructors and methods and their description I am typing here, is it really necessary? Yes. Not required. Where you can find all these details? Is it my own creation? No. Is it a language? What I am teaching currently, is it a language or API? This is a predefined class, it's a API. Then where I can find the details of API? So learn how to use API documentation. Open Chrome. Type here, Java SE API. Which version? Latest version you learn. It's showing by default 8 and 11 because this is a standard versions currently using in the market. Okay, we will go for 20. 21 also ready. We are sorry the page because was not found. Yeah. Which class you want to learn? Thread. Okay. Now go down. Class declaration, public class thread extends object implementing runnable. Read the statement. A thread is a thread of execution program. ఈ ఒక్క మాట తోటి రెండు చెవుల్లో చెవులు పెట్టుకుని వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాయి ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, దర్ ఇస్ ఎ డైలాగ్ ఇన్ ఫేమస్ డైలాగ్ ఇన్ తెలుగు. ఆ ఒక్క మాట తోటి నా రెండు చేతులు జోలు పెట్టుకుని వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాను. నాట్ ఆడిబుల్. ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ టాక్, it's audible. If you talk, not audible. Slap your friends who are talking nonsense. That's not my problem, your problem. Control your friends not to talk. Okay. So the statement is a thread is a thread of execution in a program. What is the meaning of this statement? The reason I didn't show you the API documentation because the first line it will disturb you. It will not understand it. Okay, yeah. Trouble is a trouble, don't trouble. Huh? A thread is a thread of execution in a program. So first of all, thread I don't understand. Then thread of execution, how can I understand? So here thread is a word. Here thread is sequential flow of execution. So what the full statement? A thread is a independent sequential flow of execution in a program. The Java virtual machine allows an application to have multiple threads of execution running concurrently. Okay, na? Right. Thread defines constructors and thread builder to create threads. Okay. And a thread class is having constructors. Also, there is a predefined class called thread builder, but it's a preview version. It's not yet permanent. Okay, we cannot use it as of now. In future, you can use. Starting a thread schedules it. Starting a thread schedules it's to execute its run method. What the meaning of starting a thread and immediately running a? Now, meaning is what? Scheduling. Scheduling means, tell me, can you schedule a post on the Facebook to post? Yes, means what? When you write the post and you can choose the time, at what time this post should be published. So that is called scheduling. So by calling start method, we are informing to the thread scheduler, array, please schedule this thread for running its run method. The newly started thread executes concurrently with the threads that causes it to start. That caused it to start. Caused and what? In which thread we call start method. That thread and this newly created thread both will start running concurrently. A thread terminates if either its run method completed normally or if its run method completes abruptly and the appropriate uncaught exception handler completes normally or abruptly. What do you understand? Abruptly and abnormally, right? Okay, na? So now what happened? When the run method completed, when this currently running thread execution completed, a thread completes its execution, either run completed normally or run completed by throwing an exception, either by catching or not catching. Okay, with no code left to run method, thread has completed execution. The join method can be used to wait for the thread to terminate. So join method you don't. Threads have a unique identifier and a name. How can I get identifier? Get ID. How can I get name? Get name. The identifier is generated when a thread is created and cannot be changed. That means setter method there or not there? Not. And ID variable will be not be accessible to the programmer to change. The thread name can be specified when creating a thread, can be changed at later. Can be changed later time. Tell me, did you understand this one? Just now I completed program, right? Next. Thread support, thread local variable. These are the variables that are local to the thread. Okay, you will understand this later. Platform threads. Thread supports creating of platform threads that are typically mapped 1:1 to kernel threads. Virtual threads. This is all nonsense. You read. Creating and starting thread. Thread defines public constructors for creating platform threads and the start method to schedule the threads to execute. Threads may be extended for customization. Under advanced reasons, although most applications should be little need to do this. What do you understand this point? Just create thread class object and call start method. Your thread is ready to run. But what is the problem here? It will not execute our logic. To execute our logic, what I have to do? I should customize. Tell me. When you go to ready-made shop to buy the clothes for your body, the clothes size may be larger than your body. Then what are you doing? Huh? Alteration. You are doing alteration, na? Size decreasing, right? That alteration work is in Java called customization. Customization means changing according to our requirement. How can I do existing class method? How can I customize? Can I go into that class and change it? We have to go for extension. Thread may be extended for customization. Thread is small letter T or capital letter T? Capital letter T means what? Class name. Thread may be extended for customization and other advanced reasons. Thread defines a thread builder. Okay, take like. Inheritance when creating threads. Thread inherits its initial values of implementation nodes. Okay. So these all the nodes have changed. Okay. If you go for previous versions, these all the documentation slowly changing by Oracle Corporation. Okay. Initially, Sun Microsystem given Java SE. Let me take 11 API documentation. Lot of changes are coming in API documentation. Look at that. There are two ways to create a new thread of execution. One is to declare a class to be subclass of thread. This subclass should override run method. An instance of subclass can then be allocated and started. For example, this program. The following code will create thread and start. The other way to create thread is to declare a class that implementing runnable. This class then implements the run method. An instance of this class then be allocated. An instance of this class can be allocated, passed to an argument with when creating thread and started. Look at that. Is Sun Microsystem using the word called an object of this class is allocated? No. Remember, I told you clearly when to use the word object, when to use the word instance. If the new keyword creating memory is representing real world object to store the values of real world object, then only you have to use the term called object. If the new keyword created a memory not representing real world object, you must not call it as object. You must call it as just instance. Understood? When I say all these points, you are accepting and okay because there is no option for you. You have to accept. But interviewers and advanced have a next level faculties. When you use these terms, they look at you and say, you don't know Java, worst fellow. New keyword creating is object. What is the meaning of object? What is the meaning of instance? So go and ask them what is the difference between object and instance. They'll say both are same. Simple, they say both are same. Both are same. Then immediately ask, caterpillar or butterfly both are same. Same. First butterfly, later obviously caterpillar, then butterfly. So people are not having clarity. So use the proper words. So now finally hope you got clarity on theory. Okay. Now observe there is another explanation here in Java 20 is missing. This paragraph is removed in latest version. Every thread has a priority. Threads with higher priority are executed in the preference to threads with lower priority. Tell me, is this word guaranteeing or not guaranteeing? That's why in the latest versions removed. You have seen API documentation. In API documentation, this term is not there. Initially, Sun Microsystem thought of to manage it, but they failed to manage. When they failed to manage, why unnecessary that statement? And moreover, in our projects, are we using priority of the threads anywhere? No. Just concept there you are learning, but in our projects, we never use the priority concept. Then why you are teaching, wasting my time, sir? Correct? In the written test exam, these questions will be there. Priority based questions will come. What the priority of this thread? Okay, that's why you have to learn. Each thread may or may not also be marked as daemon. Daemon threads, types of threads we'll discuss. Okay, then now if you scroll down, you'll find fields. Look at that. Nested classes. Nested classes means what? Inner class. What is inner class? Thread.state. How many states are there? Thread.state enum. Public class enum thread.state extends enum. A thread state. A thread can be in one of the following states. New. A thread that has not yet started is in this state. Runnable. A thread executing in the Java virtual machine in this state. Block. A thread that is a block waiting for a monitor lock in this state. Monitor lock means what? Synchronization. Okay. Next, waiting. A thread that is waiting indefinitely for another thread to perform a particular action is in this state. So this thread is expecting other thread to do one action on it. Okay, then only it will resume. That is join no param, wait no param. Timed waiting. A thread that is waiting for another thread to perform an action for up to a specified waiting time is in this state. Okay, I am waiting for you to perform one action. If not completed, after this time I will resume. Okay, and I will not wait for long time. Terminated. A thread has exited is in this state. Okay, then it is available from which version? 1.5. Okay, then uncaught exception handler not required. Then fields. How many fields are there? 3 fields. Max priority, min priority, non-priority. Same thing in Java 20 also. There is no difference in the code wise. Documentation they have changed. Now, what is the another inner class is coming? Builder. It's a preview feature. It's not yet permanent. It's in the testing phase. Then thread.enum, thread.concat exception. Next, field, max priority, min priority, non-priority. And then now constructors, no param constructor, initializes new platform thread. Okay. Next platform thread and nothing but our application related thread. None thread runnable string name, group related. If you want more description, click on this constructor hyperlink. You will see more discussion here. Initializes a new platform thread. This constructor has the same effect as thread of where gname is a newly generated name. Automatically generated names are of the form thread hyphen plus n, where n is an integer, starts with a 0. This constructor is only useful when extending thread to override run method. Okay, next. Now thread of runnable task. Initializes a new platform thread. This constructor has the same effect as this, where gname is newly generated name. Automatically generated names of the form thread hyphen n is an integer. For a non-null task, invoking this constructor indirectly is equivalent to this one. So that means if you want to pass one task to execute, then we can use this one. Okay, and other constructors. Okay, now this one, string name. Initialize a new platform there. This constructor has the same effect as this. This constructor is only useful when extending thread to override run method. Okay. Now, next, if you go down, you'll find methods. Method summary, active count, check access, clone, count stack frames, current thread, dump stack, get stack trace, get context class loader, default, get ID, get name, get priority, get stack trace, get state, get thread group. Okay, holds lock, interrupted, is allow, is daemon, is interrupted, is virtual, join, off platform, virtual, resume. Tell me, if I show you API documentation, can you understand anything? What? No. Okay. Look at that. So all are given, all the methods are given in which order? Alphabetical order. Alphabetical order, remembering methods is very difficult. So you have to remember via concept. Hey, look at here, I found one method here, thread ID. So what you have to do, once the chapter is completed, you have to open that class API documentation and you have to do revision from API documentation. Or all methods are covered, any method is missing, what is the purpose of that missed method? You have to go through API documentation. Okay. Then now observe here, there is a method called what? Thread ID. It is available from which version? Why it is given already? Get ID method is available now. Get ID. Whose ID? Clarity is missing. Get ID. Whose ID? Processor idea, JVM idea, your idea, my idea. So that's why Sun Microsystem, Oracle Corporation in Java 19 version, they decided they want to change the method name from get ID to what? It's more meaningful. Okay. Same method, same story. Okay. But it is available from Java 19. Okay. So hope you understand from where I'm collecting the methods and writing all. Any doubts up to now? All are comfortable? What is this question? How they are catching even minor points? పనికొచ్చే క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగరు, పనికి మాలిన Next. Now, let's understand next question, next topic. Test 18 underscore current thread. Listen, I am creating a class called example. In this class example, I am creating a method static void m1. Now here I am writing system.out.println double quotes m1 is execute. Okay, tell me. Example already there, let me take it as ex. Is this method automatically executed? It is executed only when we call. Next, when we call, this method is executed definitely. In which thread? As part of multi-threading, this method has a chance to execute either in the main thread or in the custom thread, right? In any one of the threads, it can go and execute. Now, if this m1 method is executed in main thread, I want to say hi. If this method is executed in custom thread, I want to say hello. If it is the morning, you say good morning. Evening, afternoon, you say good afternoon. Evening, you say good evening. Night, you say good night. At last, you are leaving your friend, you say bye. Next day, when you met, Hira, good morning, right? So, based on the situation, you are saying different Vishnu. Same way here also. The method has a chance to execute. Same logic has a chance to execute in different threads. Now, I wanted to get the thread information in which this method is running. Understood? If you want to get the thread information in which this method is running, I should call name variable of the thread. Na? If you want to call name variable, I have to call getName method. To call getName method, I need currently running thread object reference. Na? You created thread my thread mt1 equal to new my thread. You have my thread object reference with you called mt1, so that you can call mt1 dot getName, so that you know in which thread this method is running and all, right? If m1 method, if you observe, this method m1 belongs to thread logica, belongs to object class logica. It's an object class and extending from object. It's an object class, it's not a thread class. If it is a thread class, it can call the thread class methods with its reference. If it is an object class, can call thread class method with its reference? No. Then I have to get access to the currently running thread object. That means if you observe the JVM architecture, you will get more clarity. So this is JVM. Inside JVM, we have method area, we have heap area, we have Java stacks area. Now in Java stacks area, main thread is running. Carefully think and tell me. Whenever thread of execution is coming here, first of all, in heap area, thread object must be created. Inside thread object, name variable, priority variable, all variables memory will be allocated. All fields memory will be allocated. And this thread object contains reference. Assume reference is 111. Then what is this thread object? This is main thread object. Okay. And now JVM starts main thread of execution started. And then it started execution by calling which method? Main method. Okay. Who is holding this main thread object reference? JVM. JVM is holding it. Then inside main thread, I myself creating my own thread, MT1. My thread MT1 equal to new my thread. Then tell me, for my thread object also here, thread object created or not? Here in this thread also, all the fields of the thread class memory created. Now I am referring this one as what? 1010. Now the 1010 will be stored in MT1 and call. Whenever I call MT1 dot start method, then start method requesting the JVM to start the custom thread. Na? The moment when start method requesting JVM receiving the MT1 reference, holding and pointing this object, right? Then whenever main thread execution is passed or completed, with the help of this reference, now it is starting this thread and calling what? Run method. All people remembering that? Now, my question, I have called M1 method either in the main method or in the run method. Then M1 method is running in main thread or M1 method running in custom thread. Tell me, what is the currently running thread of M1 method here? Come on. What is the currently running thread of M1 method here? Thread -0. Custom thread, thread -0. What is the currently running thread here? Main thread. All you guys understand? Yes. The thread, the logic in which it is running, the thread in which our method logic is running is called currently running thread. Okay, na? How can we get, as a programmer, programmatically, I want to know in which thread my method is running. Then inside my method logic, I must get access to the thread in which my method is running. Na? How can I access? Are these thread object references are available with the main thread? No. With the thread -0? No. It is available with whom now? JVM. I need to request the JVM. JVM, please return this currently running thread object reference to me. I have some work with this thread. I want to know in which thread I am running. I want to pass this thread, or I want to resume this thread. I want to interrupt this thread. Some operation I want to do. I want to change the name. I want to change priority. I want to get name. I want to get priority. Some operation I want to do on my currently running thread. Please give me the reference of this object. For that purpose, inside this thread class, we have a predefined method called what? Current thread. What this current thread method is doing? When you call current thread method, tell me, current thread method running either in the main thread or in the custom thread. In which thread main method, M1 method is running, current thread logic calls running in that thread only, na? If the current thread method is running in main thread, it returns main thread object reference. What the main thread object reference? 111. Okay. If it is running in custom thread, it returns what? Custom thread object reference. What is that? 1010. Now I have to store that reference, right? Then I have tried here what? Thread TH. Everyone understand that? Right. So what is the statement I have to write now? Thread dot current thread dot current thread I have to call. So if you want to retrieve currently running thread object reference of this method, I have to write thread dot current thread. Everyone answer? Will thread dot current thread will return always same object reference? No. In which thread the M1 method is running, that thread object reference will return. That may be main thread reference or maybe custom thread, main thread or custom thread. Clear my point? Right. Now I want to just write a message here. String name equal to th dot get. Then I am writing here name plus in a name M1 is executed. In a name thread M1 is executed. And now I am writing here main method. Now system dot out dot println double quotes main star main end, and between I am writing ex dot m. Save it. Control F4. Look at that. What message you got? In main thread M1 is executed. So how we are getting this main? Thread dot current thread method returns main thread object reference 111 to our program stored in th. Then th dot get name, when you call, it is going to this object, name variable value return and stored inside name variable. Then that name variable I am passing here and display. Everyone understand? Right. Tell me. Can I call this method inside custom thread class my thread? What is the number? 40, 50, na? Extends thread run method. Run start, run it, and I'm calling example.m. Tell me, now this m1 method is running how many times now? 2 times. First time is in main thread, second thread means custom thread. From main thread, thread.current thread returns what? Main thread object return. Second time also it is returning which thread? Custom thread. Custom thread object reference is what? 1010. And now from here, what it will return? 1010. Now the 1010 object reference thread-0 we will get. But is run method automatically executed? No. We have to my thread 15. Ma spelling mistake. 15 mt1 equal to new my thread 15 mt1 dot start save it. Okay. Now because of these two currently running thread ready and we have output. Look at there in run start. Time slice problem. Okay. Now look again. Hey, let me remove it. Okay. Look at that in thread 0 thread in thread 0 thread m1 is executed. In main thread m1 is executed. So to get the message in double quotes, let me write. Do you remember escape sequence characters? In a main thread, M1 is executed. In thread-0 thread, M1 is executed. So can I expect all people understand current thread? So in projects, when you find when you want to work in object class, if you want to get access to the thread, which method I have to call? Public return type is what? Thread. Method is static current thread. What the use of it? For retrieving currently running thread object reference of this method. Okay, this method is running in which thread? The thread object reference. If you want to retrieve, then I have to use thread.current thread. Now, when this method is useful, when we don't have access to currently running thread object, and we need to work on this currently running thread object, we must use this method. Okay, na? Can you please try to answer one question? Is this possible? Is it possible? Is it possible to change name of the thread? Name of the thread? Yes. Is it possible to change priority of the thread? Is it possible to change main thread name and priority? Why? Is it possible to change name and priority of main thread? No. Yes, correct answer. Why not possible? Sorry. Main thread is calling by JVM. Sorry. So what? So what? Can we change the name of a thread after it started or not? Yes. Can I change the priority of the thread after started? Yes, we can do that. We can change the name of a thread at any state, in new state, ready to run state, running state, timed waiting state, terminated state, any state. When thread is any state, you can change the name of the thread, no problem. Can I change the name and priority of a main thread? Your answer, your question answer I gave. What you said, sir, already started, how can I change? We can change the name and priority of a thread, even if it is started also. Now tell me, can I change the name and priority of the main thread? Why? Predefined. Inbuilt. So what? Predefined, so what? Inbuilt, so what? You all thinking that, predefined, how is it possible? Sir, what is the question meaning you are not catching? I am asking, is it possible to change name of a thread? How are you changing? Set name. You have to call set name on. I should call set name method on which object? Thread object. Which thread object? The thread whose name you wanted to change. I want to change MT1 thread object. We should call MT1 dot set name. I want to change MT2 thread object. I should call MT2 dot set name. You want to change main thread name, then main thread object dot set name, main thread object dot set priority. Possible or not possible? Why not possible? Main thread object. We don't have main thread object, right? We have MT1 object. We have MT2 object. Excellent. That's why I hate you guys. Such a worst people you are. Easy M1 method has thread object. Then how it is calling get name and getting the name of main thread name, and how it is getting the name of the custom thread. This, sir. After class completed, don't go by steps, okay? Jump from here. Look at the screen, look at the screen before you answering. How many times I told you the same mistake you are committing? What question I'm asking you are not understanding. If this is the way, Pakka, you will not pass in interviews. You are performing, but wrong way. How many days you will take to correct your mistakes? 1 second also you are not thinking. Question, answer. Look at the screen, take your time. What question I'm asking? Inside M1 method. Where is inside M1 method? This dot means which method, which object? Who is the current object? Thread object, example object. In example object, get name method is available. Then stupid answers you are giving always. Think 1 second here. Past 2 months, I am telling the same statement. Think. Blindly giving answers, days are over. If it is the run method, this is correct. Why? Run method belongs to thread subclass. So this dot get name will work. Currently, I am talking with which method? M1. This refers to example class or refers to object class. Get name method belongs to thread class. How this dot get name will work? Every time I have to correct your mistake. Irritating like anything. And 1 or 2 people are giving answers, that too wrong answers. Remaining people are sitting silently. Anyways, I cannot change their mind. And you are giving answers, that too wrong answers carefully. I'm getting more frustration. If I scold, next time onwards, you don't answer. Silently, you'll sit. Anyways, I'll give wrong answer. Why? Think before answer. you will get answer. You have the process in your mind. You're ignoring it. Look at it. M1 method is getting access to predefined threads. With respect to example class M1 method, this my thread is predefined or not? Who created this thread object? Example class developer or other class developer? Other class developer did work is predefined only, na? From example point of view, my thread and its object and its thread is predefined. Then how did you get that object? How did you get that object? Already selected by using current thread method. What the use of current thread method? It is used for retrieving currently running thread object reference. Then I should use this method when I don't have thread objects in my hand. Means when I don't have thread objects in my hand means they are my created or predefined. Predefined, pre-created threads I want to access. Then which method I have to use? And tell me, is it possible to change name of the main thread? No. Okay, let me write code. Okay, main thread name and priority got changed. So someone is asking online, is it possible to change the name of the main thread, name of the main thread? Yes, possible by using get thread. Call thread.current thread method. Main thread object reference will be written because main method currently running thread is what? Main thread. So call thread.current thread. It returns main thread object reference and stored in th variable. Then call th.getName, th.getPriority. Here, who's the priority? It is main thread name, main thread priority. I'm changing main thread name and priority possible. Now I'm changing th.getName, th.getPriority. Here, what is happening? When JVM is started, inside JVM, we have main thread. Who creating this thread object? JVM. Then with what name JVM is creating? Main. Now, now the main method execution loaded here. Inside main method, I want to get access to the main thread object. So inside main method means what? Currently running thread. So inside currently running thread, th variable I created, I called thread.current thread. I requested JVM, please give me my currently running thread object reference. My currently running thread object reference is 111. It returns that 111 to us and stored in th variable pointing to it. Once I got access to the object, that may be my thread object, thread class object, or main thread class object, whatever. By using the reference th, I can call thread class getter methods, or I can call set getter thread class setter methods. So I call get name, get priority. I call set name, set priority. Set name, the name variable in the main thread object is the name variable in the main thread. The name variable in the thread object is not final. So you can change the name of the thread. It is a main thread or custom thread, any thread. we can change its name possible because name variable is not final. Okay, so this is the purpose of current thread. So if you want to get access to the currently running thread object of a method, that may be a main method, or maybe a run method, or maybe another method called M1, then we have to use what? Currently run current thread method you have to call. Okay, so this is the story about the most important methods: thread.current thread, get ID, get name, get priority, set priority, and next what? Is allow, get state, run, start. If you remember these methods, then it will be easy for you to write multi-thread programming coming days in your project's development, or you can easily pass the exams on multi-threading chapter. Clear? All these methods and the programs are available in your material. Practice from the material. Clear? That's all for today class. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll try to understand the next methods, and tomorrow we are going to learn types of threads. Very, very important. Daemon threads, non-daemon threads, and also we are going to learn how to control thread execution. Up to now, threads are executing by whom now? Thread scheduler. According to thread scheduling algorithm, it is executed. Now I want to control thread execution. How can I control thread execution? That we'll see in tomorrow class. So more 3 days. Tomorrow Friday. Tomorrow Friday. Okay. By Saturday, if multi-threading chapter is completed, Sunday no class. If the Saturday multi-threading not completed, Sunday night I will take class. Okay, not everyone. Sunday night online I will take one offline. Okay, Sunday night I will take class and I will complete multi-threading. From Monday onwards, I have to start collections framework. Okay, thank you. That's all for today class. Practice current thread method and come.